Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, guys, to yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast, the best podcast out here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 35, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to every single one of you guys. As always, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And guys, quickly, guys, apologies, guys, for being late, guys. As usual, man, there's a lot of stuff that we're doing that was being done, behind the scenes, guys. But we are here, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to every single one of you guys, as always. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, with this, obvious, you guys know, there's no Blaugrana Podcast without my guest, man, like Barça Boy 103 in the building. Brother, how are you doing?
I don't know why, but once the season ends, I'm getting busier. I don't know why. But I'm surviving. I'm good. Season's over, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like now's going to be good because we've had too much Barcelona, but in 2 weeks' time, we're both going to miss Barcelona. But we're almost in World Cup mode, so very, very excited about the World Cup. Let's hope we have a Barca player win the World Cup. Actually, I do want Argentina to win it because, I am an Argentina supporter, so we don't want any Argentines anymore. But if it's Argentina, I hope a Barca player wins it. Put it that way.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I was rooting for Argentina in the last World Cup, but after the antics, man, nah, man, I'm good on them winning. I've seen them win 3 times, and I've seen how they are, bro. They're terrible winners. They're the worst kind of winners. You feel me? Right?
Why? What's wrong with them?
No, bro. Did you remember the video? The Enzo Fernandez video.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what they do. No, see, I'm not the celebration police, bro. Listen, celebrate however you want. You see, remember how they celebrated after the World Cup, like when Emiliano Martinez had like the victory. But I'm not gonna lie, how triggered the French fans were. But personally, for me, I didn't have a problem because I was like, it's just trolling. But when they did like the celebrations with the Enzo Fernandez, that was the one where I was like, That's the problem with these guys, man. Like, there's a limit. You can celebrate, but it gets to a point where don't be offensive. Like, don't be genuinely offensive, not just to French, but to people of that certain color. You feel me? Right? Mm-hmm. So, for me, I'm like, at the end of the day, dude, we celebrate, but dude, they are the worst kinds of celebrators because, dude, they don't just celebrate their wins. They celebrate by dissing the people that they just beat. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Like, that's my thing with me. But look, at the end of the day, for me, Messi has won everything, dude. I don't care about Argentina. You feel me, yeah? I don't really care, man, if they win it. But I hope Spain do win it because Spain does have a lot of Barca players, right? So I would like to see Lamine Yamal win the World Cup before he turns 20. Like, imagine, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine he wins the World Cup and the next season he wins the Champions League, man. He would have completed football by 20. Like, levels, man. Yeah. Levels. But guys, come on, guys. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to my guy. Man says I'm growing my beard. Listen, I'm trying to follow the Hafid, man. Have you even noticed? Hafid has the perfect, like, little. He's got the beard.
Of course, this needs a shave. Of course, we're coming up to Eid, so I can't shave yet. But this is too long, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I might shave because it's coming. Yeah, you're right. Because Eid is coming. My face is.
Don't shave yet. You gotta wait till after Eid. Because that way you get more rewards. You have to have the dead trim on Eid, and then the next day after Eid, get the trim.
Yeah, I might trim it though. I'm not going to take the whole thing off. I don't plan on taking. No. I don't usually take my whole. I just want to trim it and make it look presentable. I don't want it to look nasty.
If you want the rewards, you gotta keep it ugly, man. The next day, you'll be looking fresh, and you got the rewards in your pocket. Happy days. Can't go wrong.
Hey! I do want the rewards. You're right. I do want the rewards 100%. But guys, obviously, man, big up to every single one of you guys who are in here, guys. Big up. Let's do some house cleaning. Big up to Barca God Culture, man. Big up to you. Big up to Lewis as always. Big up to my guy, Will. Big up to you. Even the Madridistas are in the building, man. But big up to every single one of you as always. But Hafid, obviously, man, right? It is a bit sad because the season has officially ended, man. It has been a great season, right? Domestically, did the back to back, right? And it's been a great season. But obviously, we ended the season on a whimper, unfortunately. We did lose very badly at Valencia. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care because the season is over, right? I knew these guys were going to be on the beach. A lot of these guys, they're going to be playing in the World Cup. they're not gonna really, put themselves in danger and all these stuff. So I expected the kind of level of performance that I got in that game, right? So it was definitely poor. And Valencia, they had a lot more to play for, man. Like, because I don't know how the table was looking. I think they still had a chance of getting relegated if the results didn't go their way. Didn't know much about it, but they did win the game by 3-1, right? But if there's any consolation, man like Robert Lewandowski, he left on a high personally for him, right? 120 goals now at Barcelona, right? Finished off his final in a Barca shirt with a goal, and it was not a great performance, but a great season. What did you think about the game? Just in short.
In short, I didn't really care. We've been quite poor over the past few years in like our games after winning the league. Even under Xavi, even for like last season, we lost a couple. We of course won our last game of the season last season against Bilbao, but we've been quite poor in that sense. For me, I was annoyed because Flick played a strong team. I'm like, why are you going strong in this game? If you went strong as Alaves got the win, this game would have been much more, going for 100 points. So it was a bit strange that he didn't give those youngsters a chance. I thought since the 100-point was dead, it was like just put the kids out. Who cares, right? Let them get experience. I didn't think Lewandowski was going to play either. I thought he wanted his last game to be at the Camp Nou, but I'm very, very happy that he got his goal. I think that puts him in like top 10 or top whatever of the goal scoring list for Barcelona. The goals we conceded were really defensive mistakes, but to be honest, I was just there for vibes.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna lie. We did see some players come in. Gavi played alongside Bernal, right, in the midfield. Like you mentioned, he did play a relatively strong team. Rafinha did not show in the game. And look, at the end of the day, I think that when it comes down to the club was just protecting Rafinha for the World Cup. Clearly, he's got his mind on that. And look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I do agree with you. I did expect, to see maybe some debuts, right, in this game. I would have liked to even see guys like Tunkara, but I think Tunkara is actually on international duty right now with Spain, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, he's on international duty right now. But I would have liked to have seen guys like Casado also get a game because that could potentially be his last game in a Barca shirt. I would have liked to have seen him. Players like Rana Araujo did get a game, right? So he's another one that looks like he's on his way out. Right, so that we could have potentially seen him in a Barcelona show for the last time, potentially, right? We did see Andres Christensen, and I'm not gonna lie, man, his substitution was probably one of the worst substitutions we've seen this season, man. Because my guy came in and dude, he was so coordinated. You can clearly tell, man, like this guy he hasn't played in a while. He's got zero match sharpness, and he was very, very poor in that game. Very, very, very poor. But in the end, like you mentioned, man, like we did get in the end, I was happy to see some of these guys play, but it is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw Christensen's performance, I was like, bro, this guy just got signing a 2-year deal and performs like that. Like he's lucky he signed.
It is his first game back in 6 months. Let's not remember the last game that he played when he was fully fit. Man of the match, got a goal. I mean, he came on for the first time in 5-6 months for 20 minutes. I wouldn't read into it too much. Even Gavi was rusty. Even Gavi was a little bit rusty when he first came back too against Sevilla like 2 months ago too. So you and I both know that Christensen is probably our best center back fully fit. So of course he's never fully fit, but once he is fully fit, then you can really judge him. Let's hope this Denmark and another World Cup. I do have, and of course Christian has agreed to a renewal. I do have some decent expectations for him. So let's hope it goes well. What Barcelona are planning to do with this summer does worry me significantly, I must say.
Right. No. I definitely do agree. I think that at the end of the day, I'm not being negative. Right? I'm not sitting here saying, oh, he's been selling this and this and this. I kind of understand. I grasp the situation. I do grasp, the position that we're in right now, and the fact that like you mentioned, he hasn't really played a lot of games. Right, he's been injured for most of the season. But it's gonna be interesting, man. I do hope next season he does remain fit because if he has some good full fit season, he can definitely bring something different to our defense. Let's be honest. He will definitely bring something different to our defense. So yeah, I'm open to him performing now. Hopefully we do see a different Christensen. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. The season is over now. We did what we needed to do. We got our league, but now that the season is over, Hafed, what's your full rating for the season for you, man?
I actually dropped my season review video, I think, on Sunday. I think I gave
Yeah, I saw that.
I think I gave the season a 7 out of 10. I think it was 6 or 7, but yeah, you win 2 trophies out of 4. The season went as I predicted. We talked about this in the beginning when we first started the Blaugrana Podcast at the beginning of the season. There's definitely going to be a drop off, right? It was just about how and where. We were 1 goal away from a Copa del Rey final, which we definitely would have beaten Real Sociedad in the final. Champions League, we were cooked either way, whether it was PSG in the final, Arsenal in the semi, Atletico in the quarterfinal. We weren't winning that. So to be fair, we actually I wouldn't say should have, but we probably should have retained the domestic treble, which would have been an insane season to do it back to back, and especially if we got 100 points against Madrid. But we had 2, finals against Madrid this season. The La Liga won, Super Cup, we won those. The form in the second half of the season was okay. That October, November period was absolutely dire. You won 2 Clásicos out of 3. For Barcelona's level, and the fact that we went from that Clásico in October that we lost up until the Clásico that we won in May, we had 30 or 27 league games and only lost 2 and won the rest. We lost.
Yeah, that is impressive. Yep.
So that run was mental as well. Champions League, I mean, it's the same shit, same story. So I gave it a 7. You're running 2 trophies out of 4. The league retaining the league is a really, really good feat, but of course some disappointments in regards to not because we got knocked out of the Champions League, but yeah, again, how? And the Copa del Rey was a bit unlucky against that 4-0 loss at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium in the first half as well. That was kind of a poor luck. So the fact that we could have defended the domestic treble is crazy to me. That we probably should have as well.
We're looking at it now. Yes.
Well, I would say okay season, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
No, you know what, right? If you told me at the start of the season that this would, we would retain our league, we would win the Super Cup, we would win 2 trophies this season, right? I would have said, okay, I would take it. At the end of it, I would 100% take it. I would snap your hand.
I would have said no, man. I would have said no. Last season, you were 1 goal. You were 2 minutes away from a Champions League final, 2 minutes away from potentially 90 minutes away from a quadruple. The objective for this season was to go far in the Champions League. Remember when we did the home kit launch, Lamine Yamal saying, "Oh, this is a Champions League winning kit." The objective this season was, of course, do your best in Spain, La Liga, Copa, Super Cup, but it was to go as far as you can in the Champions League. The Champions League is what we want. We've been dying for it, blah, blah, blah. And they failed probably worse than last season, you could say, because you had the red card. Of course, I think, to be honest, if Julian Alvarez does not bang that free kick, we maybe could have been in it. But the fact that Kuba got sent off and then the free kick he scored right away, I think it just killed us. And, that we came this season. We were all talking the summer. We signed Juan Garcia, so that was an upgrade to the starting 11. Rashford was a good option off the bench. Rooney's a okay option off the bench. So we technically improved our 11 by replacing Juan Garcia for Ter Stegen. And the goal was, I wouldn't say minimum, but the goal was to get to the semifinal again, and we failed. I think it's always, no matter what, minimum quarterfinals of the Champions League, because you want that money, and also you get to the top 8, which is the standard, I would say. But it was to get to the semifinal again, and we tried. We went 2-0 down. We brought it back to 2-2. Fermin Lopez cuts his face, and we go down. We lose. The way we lost to Atletico was embarrassing. The fact that they took away the 2 trophies that we didn't win this season were both taken by Atletico, who went trophyless and finished 4th in La Liga. But the way that we lost, you lost both those cups because you lost the first leg. And the fact that you make a 2-2 comeback and you just couldn't hold on to the lead for 10 men for 10 seconds because Fermin went off to get his head stitch or his mouth or whatever it was, and you could not defend. We conceded the same, and of the 40 goals we conceded this season, they're all the same goal as well. The cross in, tap in, open net. So that's the frustrating part. Yes, I came into the season and I predicted we would win 2 out of 4 trophies. And I didn't say what trophies. I said I think we'll win 2 out of 4. I said we'll win a cup, so either Super Cup or Copa, and then La Liga or the Champions League. That's what I thought. I said that in my video before the season even started. But the way that it happened was just not good enough. And you look at what we're being, linked with right now, what the plan of Deco for the squad is. It's just baffling. It's baffling. It's really frustrating as well. I genuinely think, I'll say this right now on the pod, I think next season will be the same standard that we had this season. A 7 out of 10, you win a trophy or two, and that's it. That's what's happening. Based on what we're seeing, the planning that we have for the squad right now, especially during a World Cup year, summer, should I say, I think we're going to see the same season next season. We might maybe win the 3P La Liga. That's, I think a huge objective for Barcelona next season, along with maybe a Champions League push. But I have the same level because you look at the playing of the squad, man. It's never what we need. It's never, ever, ever what we need. I think Lewandowski leaving was also a big hit on that. But I digress. I'll let you say something. I'm just ranting.
No. I agree with a lot of the things you just said. 100%. To be honest, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. To be honest, for me, I'll give it a 7 because we retained our league. And we won the Spanish Super Cup.
Yeah.
And we won the Spanish Super Cup. Right? I think that, at the end of the day, the fact that, we are the first team to retain our league title since we did in 2019 shows you how hard it is to retain the league out here. You feel me, right? And we got it done. Mm-hmm. We got it done.
The fact that we were, I think at most we were 7 points behind Real Madrid or 5 points behind Real Madrid.
Exactly.
Then we were at one point 14 points ahead. Once we beat them in the Clasico, I think we were 14 points ahead of them. Then we lost 2 games, Valencia and Alaves, so that closed the gap a little bit. So we were at 14. We went from 5 points down to 14 points clear, which is crazy. Credit to the squad, but the reality is, whether you accept it or not, going into the season, the objective was semifinal of the Champions League, was, to get there again, push for a final, see what you can do in Spain. Yes, Rafinha was injured. Would that have helped? Maybe a little bit. I don't think too drastically. I think Frankie was injured as well, or maybe, yes, I think Frankie was injured as well.
Yes, he got
because Eric Garcia played in the pivot against Atletico in the UCL first leg, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you had injured. 2 big players there missing. I mean, and you had, of course, the worst part of the season, by far the worst part of the season, doesn't even get close, was how bad and the drop-off of Koundé and Balde. I think that also cost us drastically as well. I'm pointing more so at Koundé, of course. So with that being said, the injury issues, you weigh a double. It's I'll take it. Of course, I'm happy. You won 2 out of 3 Clásicos as well, but then you got the parade in the end. Szczesny left on a good note. I mean, not Szczesny, Lewandowski left on a good note and blah, blah, but this team can do better. The objective of this team is higher. And that's the reality. Like, I expect more from these type of players. We have one of the best players in the world. We had Messi. We won some things with him, but then we failed to build around him and give him everything. We have a generational talent here on Lamine Yamal, and we're just rocking up with Koundé and Balde and João Cancelo as your fullbacks trying to go for a Champions League. Like, I mean, you're doing the same mistake twice, essentially. I don't know if Omar's frozen or I'm frozen.
I'm sorry, guys. My internet was buffering. Sorry. All right. Yo, big up to my guy Rex every single time. I appreciate you so much for the super chat, man. Big up to every single one of you guys who are here. Big up to Rex for always supporting man. Says, what is this? But actually, things. The dude of Cuba and Maldini is good. Wait, what is? He means that the duo. I meant to say the duo of Cuba and Maldini is good enough. F this striker. Give me Grimaldo, Raturi, and 2 center backs, Vucevic, then a striker and Rashi. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I think what he's saying is that at the end of the day, at the end of the Kobashi and Gerard Martin have been doing their thing, right? But let's be real, right? Can we rely on that partnership next season? I wouldn't put my life on it. 100% not. Absolutely not. Right. I think that, he's been, the club have basically been obsessed with trying to get a striker in the summer, which, at the end of the day, I get it. Lewandowski leaving, brings a void in the number 9 position. I get it. Right. But, this defense has been our Achilles heel and this thing has cost us this season. If you look at the Copa del Rey, that first leg, the defense cost us. The tactics cost us, but the defense also cost us. Right. When you look at the Champions League, right? That card by Kobashi changed the game, and we lost the game. You understand? Little margins. Even in the second leg, when we're 2-0 up, when we had hope, it was the defense once again. The high line cost us. Right? The defense couldn't recover on time, and then it cost us. That's the thing with me, right? That's why I give it a 7, because I'm like, look, at the end of the day, you retain the league, right? So I'm happy at least we retain one of the big trophies that we were looking to keep this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. I think that we definitely missed a huge opportunity to do another domestic treble, but bare minimum. Because I think that if we had beaten Atletico Madrid, I think we would have been in Sociedad in the final. 100%. I 100% believe we would have beaten them, right? Not to mention we've already won the Super Cup, so that would have been another domestic treble.
Mm-hmm.
But what you talked about in the Champions League is something I've been talking about for years. If you look at Barcelona even last season in the Champions League, we look at it and say, well, we put ourselves in that position. We put ourselves in that position because we were seconds away from a Champions League final. We had to play our way, and that cost us, right? And then you look at this season, that first leg, when we lost. We lost, we at the end of the day, playing Atletico Madrid, I've said it before, when it comes to Atletico Madrid, we have a great record against them in Spain. But in Europe, we suck against them. Why? Why do we suck against them? Why? Because Simeone always knows how to set up against Barcelona in the Champions League. He knows he's not going to be the better team. He knows he doesn't have the players to go man for man against Barcelona. He knows that. So what does he do? He plays the most disgusting style of football because he knows Barcelona are arrogant. He knows we're arrogant. He knows that we're going to come in, try to play our game, try to dominate position, try to dominate the ball, try to dominate all of it. So he's like, okay, cool. You guys can have the ball. You guys can have the ball. You guys can have all the attacks. It doesn't matter. We don't need 100 attacks. We just need one. We just need your defense to step up once and we are ready for you. And that's what they did in that first leg at the Camp Nou, right? Our red card, one free kick later, boom, we've given them the goal. I said it when we conceded that goal.
Mm-hmm.
When we considered that goal, I said, yep, you've given them exactly what they wanted. That is exactly what he wanted. He just needed a goal to defend. And when we gave them that goal, I knew it was going to be long for us, half it. Because I was like, yeah, there you go. Now they don't have no reason to attack us anymore. It's over. Now they can just park the bus and wait. Try to hit us on the counter. And that's exactly what happened when they scored the second goal. Set piece, ball into the box, Alexander Sala, 2-0. And there, you've given them exactly what they want. I knew the tie was over after the first day. I said, yeah, we could go there and win. But are we going to bring this back? Well, likely not. We could win the game. We could win the game in 90 minutes, but I don't see us. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, we won the game. It didn't matter because at the end of the day, we gave them what they want. The away goal, with the first leg work is what cost us in the end. And that's the thing. That's why this season, I'm happy, but I'm also very disappointed. I don't want to be this guy who's going to be like, oh, it's been a shocking season. It's not been shocking. It's not been a shocking season. It's been a good season. But that's all it was. A good season. And at the end of the day, man, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I hope that we see some improvements next season. I hope that we do, right? For me, I think that there's a lot of players that definitely need to go. You just mentioned Kunde. He's one of those guys I'm open to sell it in the summer. In the summer, man, get him out. You understand what I mean, right? Get some
for the right price. I wouldn't get him
for the right price. Yeah, for the right price, yeah, get him out. I'm very honest, man. Casado, I think he's another one who's going to leave. Araujo, he can go to, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, there's some players even who I'm not really open to selling. Who I'm like, if we get a good offer in for him, 100% sell him. That's like Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong is another one that people have been looking at in the team. Yeah, if we get the right offer, yeah, go sell him. Sell him now. And I'm the same. Sell him if we get a good offer in for him. You understand what I mean? But for me, it's gonna be very, very interesting, man. But big up to all the people who big up to my guy Rex again, man. He sends another donor, man. He says we went from Bastoni to our mascot Chris Renewal. I mean, look, the whole Barcelona thing, man, it's beginning to really piss me off because we've seen Real Madrid are intensifying their interest for him. And I'm telling you right now, if we lose Barcelona to Real Madrid, bro, Deco is gonna have to hear from me. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Well, wait. No.
Dude, I am not losing Alessandro Bastoni to Real
Omar,
Madrid,
listen,
bro.
Omar, do not be delusional. Let's dissect the situation. So we said, what's your priority this summer? Just simple answer, simple question.
I said my priority is to fix the defense.
Okay, I agree. Thank you. 2 months ago, Barca's priority heading into this summer was the defense. That's why Bastoni was all over our thumbnails for 2 months. And we talked about this on the podcast. The club's plan heading into the summer was to get rid of Ferran Torres, keep Lewandowski, sign a striker. Priority was the defense. What happened? Lewandowski said he wants to leave. Lewandowski has now left. Now the club believe that a striker is more of a priority than Bastoni. Deco worked on the Bastoni deal for 2 months. He got Bastoni to agree to a 5-year contract. Personal terms were agreed. But then Barca, Flick and Bojan and whoever else there, and the massive Echeverri, like, yeah, we think a striker is more likely. And this is also, by the way, do not blame Deco. You need to take a look at Hansi Flick. Because not only did Hansi Flick say he wants it. One second. Not only did Hansi Flick say, and this is not Christian Hansi Flick. Not only did he say that he wants a striker, he also said, if you get me a center back, I don't really fancy Bastoni. So it's not on. I agree that signing a striker right now is more of a priority than a center back. Why? Because you have one striker. I would rather go into the season with Kubarsi and Martin as our center back partnership than Ferran Torres leading the line for a whole season. I agree with you, Omar. Defense should be the priority. We're not going to make any progress. We're not going to compete for any Champions League or whatever if we don't, fix the defense. I agree 1,000,000%. And I understand why the club have a striker as a priority, because right now we have only one striker, and it's Ferran Torres. We have 9 center backs: Araujo, Koundé, Eric Garcia, Kubarsi, Gerard Martin, Christensen, Omar BYT. We have so many center backs, but we only have one striker. So I understand the club where they're coming from. Let's get a striker first. Makes sense. But this is not Deco. Deco is doing what the team is agreeing. He went the prior center back. He went and got Bastoni basically. Now Flick's like, I don't really like Bastoni. I want a striker first because we need goals. And the worst part is that Hansi Flick wants a striker. He wants to keep Rashford. He wants to keep Cancelo before even discussing a center back, which for me is absolutely crazy. I said in my transfer video that I record today, I'm going to be uploading tomorrow, we are not winning. If you bet, of course, I cannot bet. If you can bet, you want to make easy money, bet that Barcelona will win the Champions League. Put your entire life saving, your mortgage on the line, because you will make money. It's free. It's guaranteed. If you're rocking up the next season in the quarterfinal, semifinal, final, round 16 of the Champions League with Kubarsi and Gerard Martin as your center back partnership, you are not winning anything. Plain and simple. Should a striker be a priority over a center back? Sure. Yeah, I can understand that. You have, God forbid, Ferran Torres leading our line. If Ferran Torres is our starting striker next season, I will not be doing YouTube. I'm not going to be doing watch along. I'm not going to waste my time and effort because there's no point. But if you're not, the fact that the only defensive signing we're going to make this summer, is João Cancelo is baffling to me. You know what's worse as well? The other fullback that we want to sign, the club are going to pick between Hector Ford and Xavi Espart on who to stay. Which means that Eric Garcia, either Hector Ford, Xavi Espart, Alejandro Balde, and João Cancelo are going to be your fullbacks going into next season. So this club is not going anywhere unless they make defensive changes. Should a striker be a priority? Yes, sure, I agree. Even if you get Julian Alvarez, Erling Haaland, Gerard Martin, and Kubarsi as center back partnership with Eric Garcia at right back, and 1 year left in him, João Cancelo, you ain't winning shit. You can, get the 3-peat La Liga, sure, that's definitely possible. You can maybe win a Super Cup final, maybe scam your way to a Copa del Rey if you avoid Real Madrid, sure. But the reality is, what all Barca wants, which Hansi Flick knows, and everybody in that dressing room knows, is we are dying, thirsty, praying, begging for a UCL. And we're not going to do that if we are going to be signing João Cancelo as your only defensive signing. The fact that we're keeping Christensen is, baffling as well. The reality is that we are not going to go forward into the peak of club football if this is going to be the planning. And that's the reality. So don't blame Deco, blame the entire core who are saying, more so specifically Flick, who's saying, I want a striker first, then keep Rashford, and then keep Cancelo. That is what Barcelona's priority is right now.
Look, man, let me tell you something, yeah? I'm going to tell you this right now. I've given Flick the benefit of the doubt because he has been doing a good job. But let me be very clear here. I blame Hansi Flick for getting knocked out of the Champions League. I blame Hansi Flick for that performance against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. I blame him. He decides to play this stupid hairline. He decides to play this stupid high line without the right defenders, right? Which we know we don't have. We don't have the defenders to play his tactic, a tactic that he refuses to change, right? This is it, high line for life, mate. He wants to play this high line until the cows come home. Fine. You don't have the defenders for it. And you still insist that you're going to play this high line. And everyone who is watching is saying the same thing. These defenders are not good enough for this style of play. And you're listening to all of that and saying, no, I'm good. No, you know what? No, I'm good with Basque. I'm good with Araujo. I'm good with Kobashi. I'm good with Gerard Martin. I'm good with all these guys. These guys can do the job. Let me tell you something right now. Hansi Flick, I promise you. Because see me, yeah? I remember everything. I remember some of the things I said in the summer last year. And I'm going to remember this. You want to go sign a striker? No problem. We definitely do need a striker, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Give me a striker, fine. You want to keep Rashford? Fine. You want to keep Cancelo? I'm with you. I want Cancelo to stay too. Fine? No problem. But I promise you, if you don't fix the defense, and this defense is cost us, bro, I need you gone. I'm dead ass. And I don't care how many enemies I make on YouTube. People think that I care about people's opinions. Let me tell you something, Hansi Flick. If we don't win anything, or this defense costs me trophies next season, bro, I want you gone alongside this defense. Dead ass, because at the end of the day, this is your fault. You decided that you don't want to fix this defense, even though this defense has cost you 2 seasons in a row. This defense has cost. You know, they always say the definition of insanity is trying the same thing more than once and expecting different results. This is insanity at this point. At this point, this guy is taking the piss now. I'm not flick out yet. I'm not, because you have not given me a reason to be flick out yet. Cool. But you have definitely given me something to look at you for this season. I've looked at you different throughout this year, and I'm not the only one. I know you do have it. I know a lot of Barca fans are with the same. Yes, we are happy that we retain our league, but we're living in this season. How many times the defense has cost us? This season we'll be more exposed than we were last season.
Another thing, by the way, I think Rex mentioned it right now with his donation. Even with Szczesny, like, I don't know, we talked about the Valencia game. I think Szczesny has been such an overrated signing. Yes, he has a great chant. Szczesny Fumador. He likes to smoke. He's a banter guy. But when this guy plays, he is abysmal. Yes, he had a great game at the Bernabeu one time, saved the Mbappe penalty. The game that we lost, by the way. Apart from that game and Benfica away, round 16 last season, where he played very well. I think we won 1-0, the Rafinha goal. Not the second one, the rain, the other one, the shot from distance. Those 2 games, he has been absolutely disgusting. In the 2 months where Juan Garcia was injured this season, apart from the Real Madrid game, he was shit. Could not keep a clean sheet. Look at him against Alaves, was poor. Look at him against Valencia. The second goal, the third goal, he should be saving. First one, Xavi's part mistake, sir, we'll let it slide. Not on you, buddy, no problem. The second goal, at his near post, should be saving. The third one, at his near post, should be saving. If Juan Garcia gets injured again next season for, a month or so, God forbid, and we have Szczesny on the bench, we are cooked. He's not at the right level as well. So forget center backs and full backs. You have also a reserve goalkeeper. That's how thick. I would rather have, if Ter Stegen wasn't earning a lot of money, I'd rather have Ter Stegen as the backup than Szczesny based on quality.
I would keep personally, if it's just backup, I would keep Ter Stegen as a backup.
That's how May's been. So again, if you want this team to give Barcelona is the biggest club in the world. We've won. If I can name you all the players in all 5 of our Champions League squads, these players are heroes. But Letty scored a goal for us in the Champions League final, and everyone kisses his feet. He has a job as the Barca B coach. He's doing very well, actually, and he has a reputation at Barcelona because of one goal in the Champions League final. Champions League is where shit gets done. The fact of the matter is that if you want to improve, if you want to compete, again, for the millionth time, you have Lamine Yamal. You have one of, if not the best player in the world over the next 10 years. We wasted so many years of Messi because he had Arthur Melo and washed Rakitic and inconfident with his red stupid ass ribbon Coutinho behind him. Man carried us 1 week away from winning a treble, and you're signing Kevin Prince Boateng, Malcolm, Alex Vidal, and Nelson goddamn freaking Semedo. You cannot make the same mistake. Again, Messi's the GOAT. He's a better player than Lamine, of course. But you cannot make the same mistake again when you have a player like this on your hands. You bet the house. You put everything on it. You're in the 1-1 rule. If you think Julian Alvarez, I don't think it's what we need. If you think it's what you need, fine. But you have, again, I think our midfield is perfect. We have a good attack bar. We bring in a striker. You need to improve this defense. Because, again, whether Flick thinks Bastoni is good enough to play a system, apparently he doesn't. Sure, whatever. Bring someone else in of high level quality. Don't bring me Senesi for free. Don't sign Nathan, the Betis Brazilian center back. These mid-ass players. Bring me world class. We have, dare I say, no world class defenders. Kubarsi is fantastic. He's very young.
We don't.
He can play at the highest level. I think he has world-class potential. I think Kubarsi is a fantastic player. I wouldn't class him world-class. You know, Lamine, Rafa, Frankie, Pedri. These are probably our 4 world-class players. I don't think anyone else is world-class. Gabby's great, almost great. Firmino is fantastic. You know, Juan Garcia, I think, is probably world-class as well. So we have 5 world-class players. We need a world-class defender. Our world-class players are all in the midfield and the attack. You need to make this investment. You need to make these movements if you want to. If you're cool with, you know, La Liga 3P, you win a Super Cup here, Copa del Rey here, and that's what you want, sure. But don't lie to me. Don't tell me. Don't make flicks in the press conference. Oh, we know the Barca fans' dream is the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do everything we can. And it's the same. We get knocked. In the last 11 years or more, we've gotten knocked out 8 times in the exact same way. Dude, only 2 times. Only 2 times could I say that, we got knocked out by the better team.
Have you've known me for almost a year and a half, bro. I talk about the league with so much confidence. I talk about every competition with all confidence. But then when you hear me talk about the Champions League, do I sound confident? Have I ever sounded confident since you've known me to talk about the Champions League?
Again, and since we won the treble, since the treble, the only 2 times I thought
that's what I'm saying. Ever since the treble,
when Messi banged the free kick against Liverpool and when Rafinha scored. Because I back Barcelona in a final. I back Barcelona. I think in a final we're unstoppable. I've seen us lose 2 finals in my life, both to Madrid. I think Copa del Rey and a couple Super Cups. Whatever. I back Barcelona in a final no matter what. The fact that there were only 2 moments where I thought we would win the Champions League in 11 years is embarrassing. We had MSN, and we got knocked out by Atleti. We've had 11 eliminations where none of them have been our own fault.
You forgot
bullshit.
The most embarrassing one for me was Roma, bro. Roma, bro. 7th place Roma knocked us out.
Roma was an anomaly. It's the first time it was out of nowhere. No, you look back on it now because we've had wait. You've had humiliation after humiliation. So that obviously looks the worst.
Liverpool, right? At least with Liverpool, even though it was an embarrassing elimination, if we're gonna look at both legs, we could say no.
Liverpool was the worst moment of my life, bar none.
But no. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, let me just explain my point, right? Do you know why, for me, the Roma one stinked more than the Liverpool one? Even the Liverpool one stinked. Don't get it twisted. Both of them stinked, right? But the reason why the Liverpool one didn't stink to me that much is because Liverpool, if we're going to look at both legs, we could actually say Liverpool were definitely the better team. Even at the come now. We won the game 3-0. No. Haped, bro. Remember.
No. Listen. I'm not disagreeing. One second. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
I remember watching that game with my uncle, right? No, I remember watching that game with my uncle, who's a Liverpool fan, right? And we were watching the game, and dude, he was pissed. Not because they lost the game, but he was like, "Omar, we were genuinely the better team. They were playing us up the park. We just managed to control the game, took our chances when we had it, and we won the game 3-0. Anyone who remembers that first leg will tell you that was not a 3-0 game.
100%.
It was closer than a 3-0.
Omar, I agree. The issue is that you can now, because Rome happened, you look back on it, how did we do it to Rome? At that moment, I was in an exam when we lost 4-1 to Rome. I had the Apple Watch on my phone, I had the game on my phone, and I watched this. I failed that exam, chemistry in my first year of university. I failed that exam because I'm watching us capitulate to Rome. It was horrible. But everyone at the time said, it happens. It's one time. It sucks. We won the first leg 4-1, lose 3-0. Away goals did us. It happens once in a million. You can survive. The fact that we did it the next year, being 3-0 up, saying, okay, you messed up last season in this same position. Do not do it again. And you go and do it again in a worse scenario. And by the way, the Rome one was quarterfinals. This was semifinal. You were one game away from a final against Spurs or Ajax.
Spurs.
Are you fucking kidding me? Rome. Who got to the final? Rome. I think it was Liverpool, Real Madrid. So you might have gotten Real Madrid in the final. So you would have, whether we would have won that, was different.
We would have
Spurs
probably
or
won it
Ajax.
still.
Probably, but Spurs or Ajax in the final. There is the lowest moment of my life, and it will never be topped. Is when Wijnaldum scored that header. I swear to you, I disappeared for 2 months. I went to the mosque and just never left. I was out.
Dude, I could not. Same too.
That's the problem. That's my point. Because Rome happened.
I
live with
my uncle, and I promise you, Hafe, I live with my uncle who's a Liverpool fan who was watching the game within the first. Dude, I lived in the same house with him. Dude, every time he was in the house, I stayed in my room. I refused to see the guy. That is how embarrassed I was.
It's like if you have a girlfriend. It's like if you have a girlfriend, right? Let's say you have a girlfriend. She's good looking. She cheats on you. You break up with her. I just got cheated on. You get another girlfriend who's hotter than the first one, and she cheats on you again. You know how crazy that would be.
Yeah.
That is the difference.
Second class. I'm not gonna lie.
But back to the original point. At 11 years, we got knocked out 11 times. 9 of them have been bullshit because we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And there's been 2 that like, we got knocked out by the better team. PSG and COVID, we got knocked out by the better team. Bayern, we got knocked out by the better team, but it was just an embarrassing loss. The rest, we probably should have won, to be honest. But again, I digress.
No,
if you want to improve, if you want to win the Champions League, you have to make more than João Cancelo signing in your whole entire defense. Simple as that. If João Cancelo is our only defensive signing this summer, we are not winning the Champions League. I urge everyone who can bet, if you're not religious, bet every penny you have on Barcelona not winning the Champions League. It is free money, genuinely free money. Put 10K on it, you'll win 20K. Going on a holiday on Barcelona's expense. You can even use some of that to go to the Barca store, buy some gear, and the rest of it go on vacation. It is free money because this club will not progress if Gerard Martin, Kubarsi, Eric Garcia, and João Cancelo is our back four with the flick high line or high hairline, whatever you want to call it.
Bro, I don't. This is the thing. You know this. And big up to every single one of you guys. 87 people in here, guys. Listen, you guys are here. Are you not entertained? Smash the likes, guys. We're gonna be getting out of here soon, unfortunately.
So the biggest rant on the
podcast. Man,
podcast.
This debate was actually very good. We're gonna talk about this debate on another episode, guys. But look, big up to every single one of you guys. Smash the like button. Look, I think that at the end of the day, man, you gotta get me a center back. Dude, let me tell you something, man. Hafed, next season will mark 12 years. Remember Madrid went 12 years before they won that Decima. We are getting to our Decima year next season. We would have actually gone longer than they did when they didn't win the Champions League. Yeah. You understand what I mean? And this is the thing, bro. I have been patient. I've been told it's the 1-to-1 rule. We can't spend money because we don't really have money to spend because of the balance in the books. Cool. Fine. But I'm telling you right now, if La Liga approve the 1-to-1 dude and we don't go out and actually fix, I'm not saying go get me 10 signings. I'm saying go get me the right signings. You just said something that is true. We don't have that's the problem with this team, dude. We don't have a reliable that one center back that we can look at and say, in the big game, in the big moment. Like, you know, when Liverpool had prime Van Dijk, you were looking at that team and you were thinking, oh, shit. Even if you have Messi, even if you have Cristiano, even if you have anybody, bro, they've got Van Dijk in the back. That's the guy that's going to change everything. We don't have that, bro. We don't have that. And, dude, the term the defense wins you trophies is the facts, man. Dude, every team that wins league trophies, look at PSG. Many people, we say PSG one of, if not the best team in Europe, right? We all say that. What was the reason why they won the treble last season? People look at Vitinha. People look at Dembele. People look at all of that. But people forget about Pacho and Marquinhos. Pacho was being called the best defender in the world at some point last season because of how good he was in the back for them. Right? Nuno Mendes in the fullback, bro, locking off Yamal. Let's be real. He did. He knocked him off. We just, like, do you know how crazy that was? It was everywhere. How quiet Yamal was against Nuno Mendes. That's what you need, dude. You need those kind of players, those big game players in the back. We don't have that, man. I don't trust Kobashi in the big games. I don't trust Gerard Martin in the big games. This is why I'm like, dude, get me Bastoni, get me Schlotterbeck, get me someone that I can say, okay, man, in the big game, I can look at this guy and say, okay, this guy can do his thing. I don't care how many attackers we get. We're going to get goals next season. We got goals this season. We got goals last season. We're going to get goals next season, bro, no matter who the number 9 is. No matter who, bro. Because the tactic, the formation works for the attack. It is tailor-made to score goals. This style of play doesn't work for a defense like ours. We need world-class defenders for this setup to work. That's what Liverpool had. If you look at Liverpool on that club, bro, before they signed Van Dijk, they were scoring goals just like us. You remember, bro, they were scoring goals like crazy. But their defense, Lovren and Matip and Gomez, dude, wasn't working. They kept on conceding. They were scoring 2 and conceding 3. They were scoring 1 and conceding 2. But when Van Dijk came into that defense, dude, it was GG's for everyone. Because once that defense was fixed, dude, they just went crazy. They won the Champions League. They won the league. They could have gone on a crazier run if it wasn't for Van Dijk's ACL injury in 2020. And look at how this season fell off after Van Dijk got injured. That's the problem. That's the problem. But look, before we do go like the final minutes, right? I see a lot of you guys are saying the bomber that's been coming out with what's his name?
Gerardo Romero.
Barcelona, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's quickly just talk about it half it, right? Before we do run on out of here. Now, apparently, man like Boyan and Deco are in London, right? They're in London. They're basically saying they want Barcelona want to work on both, not one half it, but both. João Pedro and Julian Alvarez deal simultaneously.
They're working on both deals.
Become obsessed with one player and have no alternative ready. Okay, so they talk about the Nico Williams thing. They talk about the Nico Williams thing here.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying here.
So they're working on both deals in case one falls through. They have the other one, you know. So
I mean, that's smart. If we're gonna be honest, that is
apparently Chelsea won't let João Pedro go unless it's a world record fee. So I think also Julian is younger than João Pedro. Julian is 26 years old. No, he's 24.
Julian is 26. Pedro is 24.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd go for Julian. I mean, he's world class. I don't think João Pedro is world class. I think João Pedro is good, very good. I think he's a fantastic player, but Julian Alvarez is world class. So we're gonna assign one of these center forward options. I'd go for Julian, but respect the club for working on both deals. Again, at least the profiles are. This is where you have to give credit to Deco a little bit. He's working on both deals. He's got 2 similar profiles. Not like he's going for Julian Alvarez and then Luke De Jong, right? It's not like we're going all over the place. It's similar profiles, similar set of traits. So I respect that as well. So, I mean, let's see what we can do. If we fail both these players, very interested to see who we do bring in as the striker.
I'm interested too. I am very interested too. I hope that Barcelona, I mean, listen, I think it's smart. I think it's smart. We didn't want to fall for the Nico Williams situation last season, putting all our eggs in the Nico Williams basket, and they ended up costing us. We ended up having our pants pulled down by the way he ended up doing us. But I think this is smarter, and we're not going to sign both players. That is a pipe dream, an absolute pipe dream. But definitely getting one of the two, would be huge. Would be huge. I think that, by the way, guys, keep your eye out for a video, guys. I do have a video, guys, out for the Barcelona's transfer dealings, guys. So we're gonna talk about João Pedro and Julian Alvarez, guys. So guys, keep your eyes on that. Make sure you guys turn on notifications so that you guys can be notified when the video does come out. But in a little bit of smidgen of what I mentioned in that video, I think when I looked at João Pedro's numbers, I said, you know what, man? I guess got 20 GA in the Premier League alone this season. That is actually quite impressive. In its first season, in his debut season at the age of 24, I've seen people like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't want João Pedro. I'm like, guys, have you guys seen João Pedro's numbers this season for Chelsea that just finished 10th? Come on, man. This guy is actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good, man. I mean, but I do agree with you, man. He's got like a deal to like 10-year deal. Like, bro, we are not signing him, man. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. But, guys, we're going to be closing now, guys. Pick up to every single one of you guys every single time, guys. Listen, get in the comment section below. Pick up to every single one of you guys who've been on the stream, guys. We had 88 people in here. Guys, smash the like button, guys. 88 people. We almost have almost 100 people in here, guys. Guys, smash the likes, man. Are you not entertained? Pick up to every single one of you guys. This has been yet another episode of the Blaugrana Podcast. Now, guys, I know a lot of you guys are probably curious of what's going to happen with the Blaugrana Podcast now that the season is over. I don't know if we're going to be able to do more live streams because there's not going to be a lot to talk about. If there's a lot coming out of the club, we will do live streams. But the show will be continuing during the summer, guys. But we're going to be doing more recordings and we're going to be talking about more of some of the news that kind of comes out, transfer news and all this stuff, guys. We'll be doing the Blaugrana Podcast and you guys can still get involved, man. And so we're going to run it on both channels. So it's not just going to be on my channel. It's going to be on Hackets too. So anytime there's breaking news or something big comes out, right? Transfer-wise, in dealings with the club, guys, players leaving, players coming in, we're going to be talking about it on recorded videos or live streams if it's something breaking news and stuff like that. But guys, big up to every single one of you guys who've been here, guys. We're going to be redirecting you guys to the football chaos, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. Go out there and put Omar rate in the comment section below as usual. Big up to every single one of you guys. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, subscribe to Barca Boy 103 as usual. Big up to you guys. Visca Barça.